Hello and welcome to the Global Mentorship Q&A. I hope you can hear me well and the connection is good. I'm in Mexico City and there's a lot of dogs that like to bark all around. But I am here and excited to connect with you. So, hi Aaron. Beautiful. Well, today I am here. Hello Jamie, Charlotte. To connect and to answer any questions and share about the Global Mentorship, the Temple Body Arts Global Mentorship. Montserrat, I see some of the ladies who are going to be joining us for this journey. And I'm so excited and honored. I actually just had a really powerful conversation with one of the women who is feeling the call to join this journey. And yeah, I'm just feeling so moved. I really have had so many women from around the world. I mean, women from Africa and different tiny little places that I've never even heard of who are reaching out and wishing they could join, feeling the call. And I mean, it actually breaks my heart because my biggest desire is to be able to share this with everybody, no matter what the financial situation is, because this way of being in the world is essential for birthing a new paradigm. I really truly believe that we have the power to shift, to change how we are showing up in the world. And as we do that, we send out a frequency, a radio wave that the universe responds to, and that we have the power as we shift within ourselves and in a tribe, in sisterhood, in collective, in community, that we can actually change the world around us. And so I've just been feeling my heartstrings and my womb strings of all these amazing women who are feeling the call. And so I'm just planting the seed that if there's anyone that wants to support and create an incredible scholarship fund so that we can give scholarships to all the women around the world who say yes, who are ready to do this work and to bring this to the villages around the world, it would be incredible. So I am feeling that right now. That is truly alive for me. And I'm here to answer any questions. A couple ladies have sent in some questions, but also, you know, if you have been feeling the pull and you know, part of you is saying yes, but there's that other part of you that is like, no, I don't know if we're ready to do that, or whatever the reasoning is. I'm here to answer any questions and to really share more about this journey. You know, Temple Body Arts, a school of sacred sensuality and dance, is something that I have been really cultivating and creating for the last 41 years and beyond, but really the last 15 years I've been teaching and performing and creating and, you know, really always collecting more tools and always learning with new mentors and expanding, and it's been an incredible evolutionary path. And the Global Mentorship is something that I've been kind of the first time that I ever put it out there in its first phase was a couple years ago, and it's really developed and evolved since then, and it's just really exciting to be able to offer this in a more refined way. I've really seen, I've made some of my courses self-paced, so some women who are even on here right now have done the self-paced versions, and yet when I do the guided journeys, when we get to come together in sisterhood and have the group calls where I can do group mentoring, where we can reflect and be with one another, there's just there's something so much more powerful, and it really helps to anchor in the work that we're doing together. You know, as human beings, we tend to get distracted. Does anyone agree with me? Does anyone agree that, you know, you can have all the intentions in the world to do something, to, you know, to work out, okay, I'm going to work out every week, I'm going to go to this yoga class, or I'm going to sign up for this course, and I'm going to do it, and then you don't. I mean, I think we've all been there. And so I've really tried to create an online mentorship that can truly support you from wherever you are. And Whitney, you agree? Yes, distraction from my truth. I mean, literally, I feel like our life is the path of remembrance. You know, we as human beings, we forget. We forget why we're here. We forget what we said yes to, what we said no to, until we get slapped in the face, until something happens and we wake up again. Well, Temple Body Arts, the journey, the global mentorship is really to hold and support you in staying in alignment with your yes, with your truth, with that anchor. So we use a lot of mantras, and not mantras that I necessarily just hand to you, but mantras that come from within you. So they have your own personal magic and connection and resonance. And by having these tools, these mantras and these mudras, these body positions, these dances, these ways of moving our bodies, while we're aligning our minds, our bodies, our words, our thoughts, when we align everything, when we align all of our bodies into our temple body, we then send out a frequency of absolute truth, unwavering truth. Just take a breath with that. And just recognize how many times you think you're saying yes to something, or you think you're saying no to something, but there's part of you that isn't fully on board. I mean, take being human, for instance. Self-doubt is such a killer. For years and years, it was the one thing that just really kept me small. And it wasn't until I really started working with a mentor and just started really like saying yes and investing money that I didn't even have, but I was like, I have to do this. Like, I have to make a fucking change because this is not working for me. And it really took that leap and took that believing in myself to get me to another place, to get me to that space of actually really valuing myself and feeling the confidence and being able to put myself out there in the world. So self-doubt is something that just gets in there, and we have to also really recognize like where we're giving power. So are we giving our fear or our self-doubt the power, or are we stepping into our own woman of power? Like my friend said earlier, I love this. This beautiful woman, sister that I spoke to earlier, said she has this feeling like this woman of power, and that she recognizes this woman of power in different women, in different things. And to really, like, as I heard her speak that, it's like, well, this is your woman of power trying to get your attention. So are you going to give your fear your focus and the power, or are you going to say yes to the woman of power and actually move through the fear and say yes to something different, something new? Because it takes carving those new pathways in order to really create a life that we really desire. We have to make the changes. So with that, I mean, I could go on and on. And I would love to answer any questions. And I love that we have some men here. So men, I actually just adore you and love you. And this work that I'm doing for women is really to be able to honor the divine masculine and the divine feminine within each of us. And as more women step into our power, we also can then share that with the men. And the men, we invite you to follow us. So just know that this work is really about sacred feminism. It's about honoring the divine goddess and God within us. And so I bow to all of the men here as well, and know that if you are connected to other women that you feel could really benefit from this work of saying yes and really stepping into your power. God, I just love seeing all these familiar faces and names on here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So please, if you do have any questions, you can share here about it. And I do have some questions here that have been sent in. So one sister asked, Shakti and Shiva as one. Yes, we have to be able to understand. Actually, I'm going to talk about that for a moment. I'm going to talk about the masculine and the feminine, and really, like, temple body arts is really, it's a tantric path. So in that, it means that we view, hi Hannah, we view the body as an instrument of the divine. And within that, like, we cannot exist without the masculine or the feminine. So in the stories, the Hindu stories of Shakti and Shiva, Shakti is the feminine creative life force, and Shiva is the masculine. Shiva is the container. Shiva is pure consciousness. I mean, he could just sit in complete meditation, detached from the world completely, which doesn't really do us much good. So Shakti is the dance of life. We need the canvas in order for Shakti to dance the life force into being, to dance the formlessness into form. And so there is this beautiful connection and dance of the divine masculine and feminine that we all need to empower and embody and understand within ourselves. And so my life has really been very much about understanding the masculine, and it's through my own personal injury journey of being basically unable to move because of my neck injury for many months out of my life. And what that taught me, it taught me how to be still. It taught me how to have the power of discernment, how to be able to pull the sword and cut away that which does not serve. Because as women, we can be very fluid and open and receptive and saying yes to everything. And yet, that doesn't really help us in moving forward with direction, with an ability to really harness our power and say yes and create the life we desire. We have to have this union, this balance of the masculine and the feminine. And the power of discernment to be able to really know when and how to say no in order to say yes. So when I say live your yes, it's not that like, yes, just say yes to everything. It's like, no, actually, we have to be able to pull out our sword and say no in order to truly say yes to ourselves. And Phoenix just arrived. Welcome, Phoenix. So I'm actually going to just say how excited I am that Phoenix Nagig, my dear soul sister and womb whisperer from England, is actually going to be joining as a guest. Excuse me. So Phoenix, hello. Phoenix will be one of our guest teachers in trimester 3, and she'll be really sharing about the power of our womb and the cycles of our menses and being in tune with the seasons. You know, even if we don't bleed anymore or are not bleeding now, we all have cycles. And to understand the different archetypes that live within us gives us such an amazing key to be able to really navigate through life as well. And so I'm excited to bring Phoenix on. We've been working together and she's been just taking me on these beautiful womb journeys. So I'm excited to bring her in. And so I'll just share a little bit about the structure, which is that I've made it in a way where if you just want to be able to come in and do one of the trimesters, you can. Each trimester, and there's 3, are a 7-week journey. And so we begin this Friday with the first, which is rooting your temple body. And this first journey is really going through the different chakras in a very creative way and understanding the masculine and the feminine principles within us, learning the power of our thoughts and how to use mantras and mudras to really be able to tune in and shift how we are showing up in our everyday life. So if you're somebody who really is ready to make some changes in how you are showing up, in the way that you view life or yourself or your work or your family or your relationships, I mean, actually, who doesn't want to do that? It really gives the tools to be able to reflect, self-reflect, and use practices to be able to start shifting from the inside out. And we have sister group mentorship calls every Friday, actually around this time, every Friday. And where I will really just guide, you know, whatever comes up from that week with working with the different modules, we'll be able to dive in together in this group mentorship session. So this is a way that we can really keep connection. If you can't make the call, it is recorded. You can send in questions. And there is a Sisterhood Facebook Live place that we can connect. So there's this circle of really connecting with all the things that are coming up within us. And we journey through 7 weeks. And then there's a bit of a break. And then we have another trimester, which is all about awakening the goddesses. And awakening the goddesses goes through 6 different goddess archetypes. And for those of you who have done any of the goddess work with me before, I've added a new goddess who is not so new. She's been weaving within me for my whole life and beyond. And her name is Bhuvaneshwari. And she is the goddess who births the world from her very body. So she is like the cosmic womb, and she's incredible for holding space and for healing and for allowing us to really expand into infinite potentiality. She's also really a goddess that's helped me through healing my womb from the miscarriages as well. So really beautiful one. And also, if you're wanting to step onto the path of leadership and hold space for other women, she's a really powerful one to learn to embody and weave her medicine through. So I offer that as well with Awakening the Goddesses. And we use also the jade egg as a tool throughout this whole global mentorship to really access and heal and connect and reclaim our sexual sovereignty. So I've really just found so much power from working with the jade egg, and have learned so many ways of being able to really harness a wellspring of sexual creative energy that then we can learn to direct that into our lives and out into the world. So trimester 3 actually comes after the live training. So I have a live training which is open to anyone who wants to come, not necessarily from the global mentorship, but you do need to have at least 3 years of experience with movement arts or embodiment practices. And we journey for 11 days. It's really like a deep initiation to become more connected to these goddesses. We work through the different goddess archetypes and all of the practices, and then working with one another and stepping more into leadership. And so you get to, at the end, actually create your own temple body arts journey and offer it and guide another woman through this. And this is in June. So if you're wanting to say yes to the whole journey of becoming a temple body arts guide, you do the trimester 1, the trimester 2, come to the live training, and then we have trimester 3, which is birthing your sexual sovereignty. And this is really about, really, as I said, like harnessing the sexual creative energy and being able to really listen to what you're being guided, how you're being guided to show up in the world, and what is your unique message with the world, and how can you birth yourself with your work in the world. And this is also where Phoenix will be coming in to really learn about the different archetypes and ways of designing your own life that really is in full alignment with your own rhythm. So this whole journey is over 9 months, and you can feel into if you're wanting to become fully certified as a temple body arts guide and really understand what that means. If you have questions about that, please ask me. I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm just sharing right now. So with that, you can also just come on to the different trimesters and journey in these different trimesters. So I've really created it in this way where, depending on where you are, I can meet you. So thank you for feeling the call or for being here and wanting to learn more. I am opening up my computer here to see if I can see any of the questions that are coming in. I did have one question here. Let me see. Yeah, so I did have somebody ask me, why it's over 9 months as well. And the reason I spread it out this way too, like I said, I've shared my work in different capacities and ways before. And what I've really found that really works is over a period of time. We simply cannot just go and do, okay, let me say this. I've been doing 200-hour yoga teacher trainings for many years. And it was hard for me because, these students came for a month wanting to just learn everything and then go off and become a teacher and be able to share. And yet there has to be a way of actually being accountable and making the shifts and bringing these practices into everyday life. And how do you do that in your everyday life? You can come to Costa Rica and have this incredible transformational experience, and then most of the students go back to life and there's no support around what now? How do I show up now? How do I bring this through? How do I share my unique message with the world? And so this is really a way, Ana Paula, this is really a way of learning a map and a way of navigating and bringing through these practices to really be able to support you. So I've created it in a way where you can do, 15-minute sadhanas, 15-minute personal practice, half an hour personal practice, really weaving it into your everyday life and being realistic so that you can actually follow through with your yes. So I hope that makes sense. And so it's really, you can do over 9 months, or you can simply come on and do the 7-week journey that we begin on Friday and really give yourself fully to that. Weave your intention through with that. And then from there, be able to build upon that. So Montserrat did just ask me what the schedule was. So the schedule is going to be every Friday for 7 weeks. We do have December 29th off, actually, because of the holidays. But there'll be 7 Fridays, and we meet at 1 o'clock Pacific time. That's 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's like Saturday morning in Australia. And we'll meet for probably about just over an hour. This first call, this Friday, I'm scheduling 2 hours because we'll want time to really get to connect with everybody live. And it's really just a time of like opening up this circle, opening up this ceremony, this ritual to begin this journey together. So I just love seeing all of the familiar faces. Mirari, hello. So happy you're going to be with us, Jamie. Shamani is here. Welcome. Shamani actually did my yoga teacher training many years ago. And Shamani, I was just sharing how, I used to do these 200-hour trainings, but how many times women would go back to their lives, and it's so hard to find ways of really integrating the wisdom and the ways of showing up from just this immersion. And so this way it's really supporting you. And here's Amanda. Amanda just did the live training with me, and she will be part of the global mentorship as well. So we will have also extra full moon calls and new moon calls, and some of the ladies who just did the Temple Body Arts live training will actually be kind of taking turns and really stepping into that leadership role to hold space for other women. So, this path is really a dream that I have been cultivating. Yes, integration is the key. And through my whole journey and all the different ways that I have tried, I always say life is an experiment. Like everything that we do, especially as an entrepreneur and as somebody who is, really pioneering this new field, that we're experimenting, like what works. I mean, we have all this technology now. And I know a lot of people have an aversion to it as well. I like to call it sacred technology. When we use the technology in a way where we can actually use it as a tool to connect and to learn and to grow and to come together. I mean, living in the jungle for over 10 years now, there was a time 5 years ago where I was just dying for connection. I needed a way also to get my work out into the world where I didn't have to travel every time. So that's when I really made the leap and invested in a mentor and was like, okay, I need to get myself online. And it's been an incredible journey of really pushing outside of my comfort zone. I used to only be in person, wanting to be with people, in the flesh. But that's not always the case. And like I shared at the beginning of this call, I'm just so touched by all the women around the world in tiny little villages I've never heard of who have been exposed to the interviews I did at International Temple Body Arts Day and some of the videos I have on my YouTube, and that through that they feel this desire to want to awaken into their power. And so there is this amazing awakening that is happening throughout the world. And we would not have this incredible awakening if it was not for technology. And so I really bow to technology in a way where we can use it to expand, to grow, to connect. And so if you're somebody who feels nervous about, getting online, or maybe I'm not going to be able to connect, leave those fears behind and just open your mind to something different. It's almost 2018. We are in a different time altogether. And the power and transformation that can occur just by being in the presence of one another in circle together, Charlotte saying technologies open up gateways for me too. It's like, we live around the world, and yet we are inspired by people online. Just look at Instagram. Any of these ways. I mean, how many of you were inspired by just me dancing around and sharing my love and my passion? It's like, and I want to share too that has been the key for me in really learning to market or share my message in an effortless way, to be able to just share the work that I have developed and that I'm offering from a place of ease, from a place of really this fullness. It's like the practices, the Temple Body Arts practices help to connect me to my essence, to my value, to who I truly am, so that I'm overflowing with myself. And from that place, I share what I'm passionate about. I share my love, and you feel that. And there's a resonance there, and there's a recognition, a desire. I want something of that. And so just know that when you feel that resonance, when you feel that magnetism through sacred technology, that we are using this platform as a way of evolution and healing. And to really trust when you are guided to open something up, to look at something, when you feel that full body yes of like, wow, this is something I want. What part of you keeps you in a place of, that feels comfortable, keeps you in a place of like, oh, I don't think I can do that, or the fear, it's like giving the fear power. I was sharing earlier today that, there were times where even when I committed to getting a mentor, I didn't have the money. I had to take a huge leap. And what I learned through all of that and through working with the different mentors I've had is that the frequency that we hold, the energy that we hold in our bodies, in our minds, actually sends out a radio wave. So if we're in that place of grasping or like, please, I just really hope that something works out. Like, what is your body posture? What are you really believing? What are you giving power to? And can you fully come into a place of trust and ease and expansion? To say yes to yourself and to open up and create space for you to be supported in ways that you didn't even know were possible. This has really been my journey, and so I really teach from a place of knowing and understanding what that is. To be feeling so stretched and like, I don't know if I can do this, and do I fully trust, to like really putting my self-doubt in its place and giving my full gifts and essence and what I know I'm truly here to share, giving that the power, giving that the forefront, offering that. And it's been an incredible journey, an evolutionary journey. And so in the Global Mentorship, I really share from all of these different experiences and stories that I have gone through myself to be able to meet you where you are. Murari, I want to be able to accept my body completely and express my sensuality without shame. Let's just all take a breath and know that that desire that you hold is the desire of so many. And we have to clear away the old paradigm, the old belief systems that have been placed onto us. We literally have to clear the pathways. And this is a huge piece of working with the jade egg is such a powerful way, working with yoni eggs, to actually hold the yoni egg with your intentions and to place the yoni egg inside of you with your intentions, to literally work from the inside out to clear away the old pathways, the old beliefs, the old paradigms that are actually not ours. So this pathway is about really finding true freedom from, it's like a bondage, you know, these old ways of being that just do not serve and that were placed onto us. And we have the power to actually release those chains and unlock, to use the key within us to unlock all of these incredible resources and treasures that we have within us, to be able to start navigating and showing up in life in a whole different way, to be able to express ourselves and our sensuality, and at the same time protect ourselves, have discernment to know when it's appropriate to move through life in a certain way or to take our clothes off. Like, we have to have the power of discernment and to be able to protect ourselves. So this work is very much a way of accessing these tools to be able to navigate through this way. So at the end of this call, I'm going to be offering actually a scholarship to trimester 1. So like I said at the beginning of this call, I just wish that I had a huge scholarship fund that I could just offer all of the women who so deserve to take this journey, to come on this journey with us. And at the same time, I have to honor the work that I've created and all of the time and money I've spent and valuing what I have to offer. You know, money is an interesting thing, and it's something we all have to work with. And so for me, you know, I want to be able to offer these scholarships where I can, and I trust that as I choose a woman who's here at the end of the call, that, you know, it's random who I choose, but that you were guided to be here right now to receive this scholarship. So I trust in that. And yeah, I'm here present. If anybody has any questions. Rosie Rain, I'm here. Beautiful. And I want to see here. So, if you have any questions for me. Okay, now I can see the thread here. Beautiful. Sacred technology is not always the easiest, but we have to learn how to work with it. So I'm going to see, I did get a couple other questions here, and if anyone else has a question. Yeah, and somebody did ask, you know, what if I am out of shape and, you know, can I still do the movement practices? So for the global mentorship, it's really, it meets you exactly where you are. And so there's different video modules for each week, and they are movement based, and yet the way that I teach is very much about listening to your own inner teacher, listening to your inner teacher and meeting yourself where you are, and at the same time, finding strength, strengthening ourselves, and finding more flexibility, rooting ourselves down, connecting into the core. I'm all about the bamboo core and really strengthening our core so that we can move from the world from that place of connection and strength and flexibility. And so we do work a lot with really harnessing the graceful warrior, and so the strength and flexibility that comes from that, and being able to always come back to our center. So life loves to take us off our center, but how do we come back? How do we come back? So even if you're feeling out of shape, or you're not, in the best shape, or whatever that is, or even if you have an injury, you can totally meet these practices wherever you are. I remember in school, I actually broke my toe and I had a cast up to my knee, and I still had to do my dance final, and I did it sitting down, and that's really where I remember I was sitting down and something opened up in me, and I just began to really work with the channel, my bamboo core and the central channel and my heart and the extension of my love and my heart and my energy through my arms. And it was incredible to expand my movement repertoire actually by this injury. And so I definitely use injuries as a way of meeting them, and it opens up another way of moving through life. Because, if we can't move in the way that we're used to, hello Rebecca, if we can't move in the way that we're used to, we have to find a new way of moving. And so life actually will do that to us. And in the moment we're like, fuck, that's not fair, I just want to be able to do this or that. But it's like, that's what Temple Body Arts will teach you too, is how to surrender, how to trust, how to meet life from a place of rootedness and grace, and understanding that whatever is presented to you is here as a teacher, And so how can you move through and learn from whatever has arisen, whatever is alive for you? So just even reflecting right now, what is alive for you? If you're on this call and you're like, I so want to do this, but I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough time, or I don't know if it's right for me, or whatever it is, how can that teach you? How can you look at whatever that is, that voice, right in the face, and have a dialogue with it, and really see, is it truly serving you to listen to this? Or is it here as a teacher where you can actually make friends with the fear, make friends with the self-doubt, and choose another way? So here Whitney's sharing something on moving through self-doubt after feeling called to leadership. What was your favorite thing to feel harness practice to pull yourself out of self-doubt? Oh my gosh, yes, such a good question. So, Whitney is saying, she's invested, she said yes to this leadership, to becoming a teacher, and then the self-doubt comes up. And that is part of the path. It's like we have to learn how to move through that, like I said. And for me, I've had a mantra that I've actually worked with for a long time, for like 16 years or something. And it has been the one mantra that has really helped me, and it's with the moon. And it's this mantra that says, I put the seed of the moon inside my soul. And it's really about bringing that illumination inside and recognizing that I am powerful, that I am full of light, that I have enough to give, that my presence is enough. So this mantra is Om Cham Chandraya Namaha. I'm going to type it here. Om Cham Chandraya Namaha. And it really has helped me a lot. And the other one that has been more recent, which is like a whole nother level of me really stepping into my leadership, because there's always like initiations and gateways that we have to move through in order to like get to the next level. And for me, it was going through the 13 Moon Mystery School. And what really, like what I came out with most from that year-long journey of working with the archetypes and really stepping onto my priestess path was so simple. And I invite you to try this. It's to look in the mirror and to eye gaze, to really look into your soul and your essence, to empty out, because it's only the mind that plays tricks, that keeps us small. It's the mind and the beliefs that other people have put onto us. It's society, it's the collective fear. And so by really connecting in with ourselves and saying, I like this mantra, the lotus mantra, my presence is enough. 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 When you can really get this and know this to be true, everything will change. And yes, somebody just shared, I get freaked out when I look at myself in the mirror. So we have to be able to meet ourselves. We have to be able to meet ourselves, to love ourselves, to believe in ourselves, to know our own value and that our presence is enough. So I hope that helps, Whitney. That really, my presence is enough mantra is something that we work with a lot in the Temple Body Arts as well, and it's so huge. And to dance with that, to feel that truth, you know, and sometimes we have to fake it till we make it. So it might not seem true or real, but you just keep saying it, just like any kind of belief or any statement that somebody may have said to you that wasn't even true when you were little, like, oh, your nose is really big. And you kept saying that in your head over and over again until you actually believed it. Do you get me? Is anyone with me here? I mean, our mind is a crazy thing. And at the same time, it can actually work with us, because if we repeat something enough, the power of repetition is huge. And this is a huge part of what we learn in Temple Body Arts as well, is that muscle of listening, the muscle of repetition, the innate wisdom, and how we can actually create these new pathways with mantra and with our actions and with the way that we move through life and the way that we respond. So repetition, repetition, repetition. Oh, good, Whitney, I'm glad. You got the chills. That's always a good sign, feeling that full body yes. And I wanted to respond to Joanna. I would deeply love to attend the full mentorship and become a Temple Body Arts guide. What kind of payment plan do you offer? Would I have to attend both the live trainings or just have to choose between January and June? So I actually just consolidated the trainings because there was not enough time before January, and everybody was like, well, not everyone, there was just one or two people that were saying yes to January. So there's just the June training right now. And in order to become a Temple Body Arts guide, you have to complete and really take part in the full global mentorship, so the 3 trimesters, and the live training in June. And then there would also be part of it as well to become certified is like filling out a form and kind of sending in like a structure or a form of one of your temple body arts circles or a session that you would do, just so I can really see how you're taking this work and offering it in the world, and then sharing a video or something so that I can see, you know, how you're sharing it. So the payment plan I have right now is a 6-month payment plan, and so over 6 months, and that is for a shared room, a shared suite at Danyasa. It would be $888 per month for 6 months, and I think it's like $994 if you want to have your own private room. So that is available. So let me know how that sounds, Joanna. And you know, I'm also just really, I would love to connect with you if you know, if this is something you want to do more of and go deeper and understand how that would work. I would love to find a way. Wendy, yes, you jumped in and said yes. After the last webinar, so many signs and signals led me to do this. Nervous, but excited to this journey. Gratitude for your offering and this experience. Beautiful, Wendy. I'm so excited you're joining as well. And, you know, that's another way too. You can also do the payment plan for the full mentorship, which is like $697 for 3 months. And then you can put down your deposit is $1,000 to reserve your space for the live training, because I do only accept 16 women. And then you just have to pay 30 days out from the start in June. So please reach out to me, you know, if you want to understand more about the payment plans and things. I am just so honored and excited to be sharing this work. And, you know, when you feel the call to really join, to say yes, like, yes, there's going to be nervousness, because, I mean, I still get nervous about the things that I really care about, that I'm most passionate about, that are most in alignment to what I'm here to share and to do. Like, excitement and nervousness, it's the same dance. If you've ever danced, I invite you to dance excitement after this call. Like, what does that feel? And then feel like the fear and the nervousness. It is like right there. It is right there. Excitement and nervousness and fear. And there's this dance that happens. And so I just, you know, invite you to dance that, and to trust that, and to know that there's medicine in all of it. And that's what Tantra is too. It's about embracing everything, the dark and the light, the shadow and the light. Like, we have to be able to understand and know our own self-doubt and fears in order to really say yes to full evolution. And so it's this dance of like bringing the shadow into the light and honoring the shadow, and then honoring the light and dancing between the two. So it is the dance of the dark and the light. Well, I'm loving all the hearts. Thank you. So if you are feeling called, I just want to respond also to, you know, becoming a Temple Body Arts guide, becoming certified from the School of Temple Body Arts, School of Sacred Sensuality and Dance. Thank you, Joanna. This is a whole new way of being. I mean, we are on the cutting edge. We are pioneering this revolution and this movement, and it is so exciting. And it's also very much, you know, so much about surrendering to the mystery. The mystery is guiding me, and believe me, this has not been an easy process. But when you feel that fire within, and you know, you know that you just have to say yes. Like I've shared before in my stories, like it was really truly becoming pregnant and going through the miscarriages and using the practices, the temple body arts practices and the tools to heal myself and to really truly listen to where I was being guided. I was being guided to birth the school and to trust that the woman would find me. Believe me, I was scared shitless. This has been something that's been brewing since 2012. And instead of really just birthing my own thing, I taught yoga teacher trainings for many years, and it felt safe. And yet I wasn't satisfied because there was something so much bigger that wanted to come through me. And it's really only when we truly say yes to the biggest expression of ourselves that we can birth who we were born to be into the world. And so if you're still playing small in aspects of your life, or if you're still giving your precious energy or money or time into a relationship, into a career, into things that do not serve you and that are actually not your highest yes, then I just really invite you to take a mirror and to look at that. Because essentially, when we're not truly honoring our highest yes, we are leaking our precious energy. And it's very hard to bring our full selves to the table, to something, if we're still really just offering and giving our energy to something else. So I just want to bring that to you, to look at where you might be leaking energy or aligning yourself with something that actually truly is not you. So, Michelle, I've been a yoga teacher for 10 years, but have always had so much resistance to goddess work and women's circles. Perhaps it's from trauma or death of my sisters, but I'm feeling more and more called to meet my resistance and uncover more of my hidden power with support and integration. I just got chills reading that. Thank you so much for your transparency, and you're not alone. And you know, when we feel resistance, when there's like a trigger that is so much like that resistance, what would happen if you really truly danced that resistance and met the resistance and allowed yourself to move through the resistance? Because where our triggers are many times where the medicine is, and actually where the biggest growth is. And so I totally hear you, and like I said, you are not alone. And the way that I offer, I mean, as you can see, I'm very authentic and real, and I honor, like I said, the dark and the light, and the masculine and the feminine, and ultimately the goddess work. There's a lot of foo-foo goddess work out there, I have to say. I mean, I'm sure some of you have experienced this. So it's good, Michelle, that you're being discerning as well. And at the same time, you're here in this moment following this resistance. And there's a magnetism. So listen to that and trust that. And just know that you have the answer if this is something that you could meet and be held in. And, you know, I invite you to say yes and to bring your resistance, to bring your, I don't know about this, you know, and just do the first trimester and just see how that feels. Ultimately, this work is about really honoring your own authenticity, essence, and power, and to bring your full radiant brilliance and power through the art and the life and the offerings that you give. So as a yoga teacher, this path is really to support you in like pulling out the treasures and gems and the depth of who you are that you might not even know is there. And to bring that through as a yoga teacher is so powerful. To really, like, as yoga teachers, we get to touch so many people in a way, like, they say yes, they think they're just, coming to yoga, and they walk through the door, and then you can really guide them through a deep shamanic journey. You can guide them deep into the healing of their wombs. So temple body arts, to become a guide, it's giving you the medicine bundle and the tools and the ways that you can truly embody your full self, your divine self, and then offer that out in the world. So if you're already a teacher or facilitator of some sort, or we have a chiropractor who's joining us for the full mentorship, you can bring these tools through in whatever you're doing. Now, there's also been women that are not a facilitator of any sort yet, but I feel guided and drawn to this work. And yes, there's space for you too, to be able to join and go on this deep transformational journey and learn the tools to be able to guide other people. And you start really simple. As a facilitator and a teacher, it's an ongoing path. I'm always learning. I'm always wanting to expand my repertoire and ways of working and guiding people. And so if you're just starting out and you're wanting to lead circles or step into leadership, this is also a beautiful initiation into that, and to be in a sisterhood of other women, feminine leaders who are moving out into the world and sharing. And so this can be an initiation into that, into stepping deeper on the path of leadership wherever you are. So I definitely invite you to, I just saw the time, I was in a timeless space there. I invite you to send me a private message or email me if you're wanting to, ask me more questions or understand about different payment plans and things like this. Like, please reach out, and I would love to connect. Hello, Melissa and Rebecca, so beautiful. I just actually love this sacred technology to be able to feel connection here. So I'm going to move into the next phase. So I will be choosing somebody to receive a full scholarship to trimester 1. We begin so soon. And let's see, Cornelia just wrote something too. Let's see. I resonate so much with your beautiful soul and authenticity. I feel the call to join, but there is still hesitation regarding the payment. Also, I can't attend the first meeting this Friday as I'm assisting on a tantric women's retreat. Yummy. Is there an option for joining in later? That's a great question, Cornelia. So if you're not able to join this Friday for the first opening ritual, you will be missed, but you can watch the replay and you can come in the next call, and you can share something there as well and get to really connect with everybody. So you can definitely come in, after that first call. And all of the live group mentorship calls are recorded, and they'll be sent to you that same day later in the evening. So it's definitely possible to join in that way, even if you can't make it for the first call. And the hesitation regarding the payment, well, I understand, and I don't know your specific story, so just know that as you say yes and invest in yourself and really fully value yourself, and know that this is about you stepping into your fullness, that you can open yourself to receive even more abundance. It's like really being in the frequency of abundance and really recognizing your value. In trimester 2, we work a lot, as I said, with the different goddesses, and one of them is Lakshmi. And it's just so important. Lakshmi is all about the goddess of generosity, abundance, beauty, wealth, and to really understand about reciprocity and giving and receiving. So as you give to yourself, you also open yourself to receiving more. If there's a holding and not wanting to really, give to yourself, then how do you expect the universe to give to you? It's like we have to open those channels. We have to really open the channels to receive. So if you have more specific questions, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to connect. And I'm just so excited to see all of you here. Ray is here. I'm going to actually be on Ray's goddess, what do you call it? It's like a online goddess festival that I'm going to be sharing on soon in January. So thank you so much. And Timberly, after having a session with you, I feel cooled. Yeah, I'm so honored to be able to share with so many of you, and wherever you are on your path of healing, of embodiment, of empowerment, of sacred sensuality, of expression, of calling in your beloved, of really valuing yourself, of feeling alone and scared to reach out and be in sisterhood, wherever you are, I can meet you. And I'm so honored to be here and be connected to so many incredible women, and I just want to share all of this abundance with all of you. So thank you for saying yes to yourself and being here. And I feel inspired actually to share. So for all of you that are here, I invite you to send me an email when we're done, which is, I'm going to write it in here. Send me an email here, and I'm going to share with you this inner diamond activation mantra meditation. It's like a 45-minute meditation video that I created a while ago, but it's something that really has helped me through my own self-doubt over the years, is really connecting to my value. And I guide you through a journey to actually write your own personal mantra. So if you're on the fence and you're feeling the yes, but not sure, have your hesitations, I invite you to do this meditation and to really come in with the intention of receiving pure guidance around your own value and around, what it is to say yes. And so please email me at sofiah@sophiathom.com when we're done, and I will send you the link to that meditation. And now I'm going to choose randomly somebody to win a scholarship to trimester 1. Rebecca Uccellini. Rebecca, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you made it on this call. And Rebecca, you just won trimester 1. Rebecca Uccellini. Oh, are you there? Rebecca has been on the most wild journey of healing. And Rebecca Adelira, I'll write to you later. Oh my gosh. Rebecca Uccellini, are you there? Yeah, Rebecca has been on a wild, amazing journey, and was paralyzed from eating a slug in Hawaii, and has just been such a warrior. And I'm so moved and inspired to be your sister, and so I'm going to write you personal message after this, because I don't know if you just saw that you just won the scholarship. Rebecca Uccellini. Well, that makes me happy, and there were so many others of you that I wish you could win too. I am going to offer all of you who are here $100 off. So that's either off the first trimester or off the full global mentorship. And that is with Live Your Yes, is the coupon code that you'll use to receive $100 off. So I hope that you will join us. It's going to be an incredible, incredible journey. And please reach out to me if you have any other questions. I will be traveling tomorrow, the next couple of days, but I'll be checking in, and I look forward to connecting to so many of you. And don't forget to write me an email so I can send you the link to your Inner Diamond Activation Mantra meditation. And with that, I'm going to sign off, and we will share this later as well. So if you missed part of it, we'll be sharing it, and it will be here for you. Thank you so, so much for joining, and for listening, and for following the call. My prayer is for all of us to remember our essence, to remember that our presence is enough, and to trust that as we step into our power and say yes, and invest our time, energy, and money into ourselves and into our temple bodies, that we will birth a new paradigm, one that is rooted in love and guided by grace. Thank you so much. I love you all. Namaste.